Hey everyone, it's Ashley with scrappinash.blogspot.com, and I apologize for not having tutorials very much lately, but I hope to change that soon. My schedule's starting to slow down. I want to kick off the new tutorial session with a Halloween card, since Halloween is fastly approaching. And I can't take full credit for the card. It is copied off of Northwood's take on the card, and they're the ones that created the stamp. The stamp I'm using today is by Northwood, and it is a wooden stamp of a window that has 3 ghosts in it with a spider web, 2 of them and 2 spiders. It is a wood stamp. It's not labeled with a name, but it is from their newest line, 2011 October. I'll be using that, and then I'm also using the stamp that kind of goes with it. It is Boo Well, Spook Often, and Scare Much. So let's get started. What you want to do is you want to stamp the image twice. One to use the window part, and the other one to cut around the window part and use the ghosts in the inside. This one I started to mess up, and so this one will now be the window frame. And the Copic colors I'm using are BV31, which is pale lavender, and that's going to be for the background of the ghosts. And then E43, E57, and E31 will be the window pane. So since I messed this one up, this will be the brown window now that I cut out. So I'm going to start with my lightest brown, which is E31, and I'm going to just go ahead and give it a nice color down the entire image. And I apologize if my hand's in the way. I promise I'll try to move. I'm not doing a lot of shading on this one since the window and wood are naturally different colors. So I am just really fast coloring this window. I'm being sloppy on the edges because I know I'm cutting around it. You just want to color the entire thing. And the inside. And this marker is getting really dry, so I'm going to have to refill this one. Okay, and you can tell I kind of went out of the lines, and that is okay because I will be cutting around it. And next I'm going to take E43, which is dull ivory, and I'm just going to put some darker lines in there. And this stamp is great because it kind of has those lines already in there. So I am just following those. Then I'm going to take my E57, which is light walnut, and I'm going to just go over some of those dark areas. And then you go back over it with your E31. And mine is not blending as well because if you see the white tip on mine, it is completely dry. I have made 3 of these cards as I need to make 4 of them, and it is taking every last bit of this marker that it had in there. Okay, so there's that one. The next marker I'm going to take is BV31, which is pale lavender, and I'm going to color around the ghosts in the second image. So I am just coloring around the ghosts in the white areas. And if you look up the stamp, or if you see the stamp, you can tell exactly where that is. So it's really easy to do. And this time I'm coloring in the small circles, which we are taught in our Copic certification classes, just to keep the area wet so that it blends better. And over here, Halloween cards are one of my favorite things to make. It's a good chance to do some of the bright colors that you normally never get to work with, and I think I really love it because these are the stamps you really only get to use once a year, kind of like your Christmas stamps. So it is fun to bust them out and play with them. Okay, I'm almost done with coloring the image, and then the next thing that we'll do after we colored is to cut out these pieces in the way we need to. So for example, the frame, you'll cut out just the window frame, so you're not going to use any of the ghost part. Okay, and I forgot, I do need to color the spider web over on the window pane, this blue color, or purpley blue color. Okay, so now we're going to cut out the pieces. So I'm just going to take my scissors and cut around them. And I apologize if I get out of the camera angle. My son was playing with my tripod and a black plastic piece broke off of it. So I'm pretty sure it's broken. Okay. So now I just cut in the white just to get in there. And I'm going to cut out the window frame. And this is where it did not matter that I kind of went out of the lines on purpose, because I knew I was going to be cutting the part out of it. And it kind of makes up for having to take the extra step to cut out the window. So this is what you're going to be doing, is you're going to be cutting out the pieces of the window. And we're almost done with this. And then the next one that you do is I just use my trimmer and I cut around the thing. And this one I want to leave the spider web. So I'm just going to cut around the spider web. Okay. Then if you see any areas that you don't like, you can go ahead and cut those. So that is what you'll end up with. And then my next one, I take my trimmer and you're just going to cut the window out. Okay. there are those two pieces. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to get some transparencies or acetate, and you want to trim a window piece for your thing so that you can't see it on the end. And I might have to trim a little on this. So I'm going to be using some red sticky tape. And putting it where I want the window to stick. And I do little pieces just so you don't see it sticking out of the window part when your card is made. So I'm just putting some around the whole thing. Okay, and peel off the back. And then you're going to place your window on it. And I just need to trim a little up at the top. Okay, and then there is your window with the thing in it. So now your next step is to put some pop dots on the back so that it sticks up for a 3D look. You want to be careful with the middle one. You want to make sure it's a smaller pop dot. Okay. And now you want to get your card base ready. I'm using the Only Orange from Stampin' Up, cut into a normal A2 size card and folded in half. And then I am using the paper I just found at Target in their dollar area, which I love doing. And if you haven't checked in there, you need to check fast. Mine were almost sold out. This paper has glitter on it, some glossy accents on it, and it is gorgeous for only $1, and you get 8 sheets. So for example, this one has glitter. This is just a plain print, printed glitter, printed, glitter, and glitter. And I'm actually using 2 from there. I'm using, it has a spider web that's kind of iridescent-y. I don't know if you can see that. And then I'm using just the plain polka dot. And I think this is very cool because it has teal in it, and I've never used teal for part of a Halloween card. So I cut the polka dot piece 3 by 4, and I'm going to just center it in the center of the card piece.
Hi, Mommy.
You hear my son. Hi, Aiden. I love you to the moon and back. I apologize. My son just got home. And I cut the main piece at 4 and 5 1/4. And I'm going to put that on the front of the card. My son is so cute. His newest thing, he just turned 3, is to say I love you to the moon and back. So cute. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and now put glitter on your ghost if you want it to be glittery. I think it helps make it pop. So I'm going to be using a product called the Quickie Glue Pen. And you're just going to cover the ghost in it. So right now I am just coloring the white part of the ghost. I just think this really helps it pop when it's behind the acetate frame. And it kind of traps in the glitter, so there won't be a mess when they open up the card or when you send the card in the mail, which is nice. And I got the one up here to do, and this one kind of looks mean. So it looks like there's some ghost that's really mean, one that's kind of happy, and one that kind of has a funny smile, so being silly. And then I'm just going to be putting on white or clear glitter. And I'm going to be using the Hero Arts kind. I'm just going to sprinkle it generously on. And then I'm going to shake off the excess in my trash can. And if you've missed any spots, just go ahead and take that glue pen and fill in. I'm just going to put some right down there. Okay, so there is the ghost all glittery. Okay, so now that you're ready, you can let that set aside to dry for a minute. And I went ahead and did it, and I stamped that Boo Well, Spook Often, and Scare Much in black ink, and then on orange cardstock. And I'm just going to trim around each of the words separate. So I want to cut them out. So for example, the Scare Much, and then we're going to do the Spook Often. And cut out the Boo Well. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to use a hole punch, and I'm just going to poke 4 holes in the corner of each of the side of the paper. And I have 4 lime green Making Memories square brads, but you could use any color and any shape or size. And I'm going to make sure they're in there straight. And then turn it over and take down the side so that the brads stick. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside using my black Memento Tuxedo black ink. And I'm going to be using from Inkadinkado. I've got it on clearance, and I've seen it on clearance at a couple of local stamp stores. So I'm pretty sure this is an older stamp from them. And I'm just going to stamp it in the inside, kind of like how my sample one was. Okay. And then I always sign my cards with my stamp that I got made for me that has my Etsy website on. Okay, so now you're ready to take your panel with the glittered ghost. It should be dry by now. And just put some adhesive on the back. And if you're doing like a larger card or a square card, Okay, sorry about that. My camera shut off accidentally. And so we're almost finished, but like I was saying, if you were doing a larger card, it would look really cute if you mounted the frame on something, but since I just did a normal A2 card, the frame pretty much takes up the entire card. So what I did was I finished sticking down the ghost before my video cut off, and then I peeled off the pop dots and placed the window frame on top. And then what's left to do is just to put on those cut out words. So I'm going to put the boo well up at the top. Spook often, I'm going to go in the corner. And scare much will go down here at the bottom. And that is the card. And it looks really cool in person because it's very 3D. Looks like a real window. Well, thank you for watching. Check back soon for more videos. Thanks. Bye.